r/ask Reddit. What is one thing you want to do before you die? Go to space and look down at the Earth. I have been wanting to visit the ISS ever since reading a few astronaut memoirs earlier this year. It'll never happen though. Not unless I win the Powerball in the next few years. Guess I'll have to settle for publishing the book I wrote. Edit. A lot of you are asking about which memoirs I'd recommend. And it's too much to reply to every single comment. I was not expecting this to blow up like it did. So I'll say it here. Scott Kelly's Endurance is far and away the best. But Chris Hadfield's book is great. too. I'm sure there are more I haven't gotten to yet. Also, about that book, since that's getting asked about a lot too. It's about 4 5th graders who meet at recess. They're all dealing with their own issues and write about them in their journals. It's told in journal entries. They learn to come together eventually, and there's a bit of a mystery a little later in the story. Reading Chris Hadfield's book actually tempered some of my desire to go to the ISS. Having the blood pool in your head, using a space toilet, losing the calluses on your feet. Don't get me wrong, I still want to go, just not for very long until we get artificial gravity figured out. See the Northern Lights. That is Northern Lights. Cannabis indica. Size no, it's marijuana. Drink gasoline so that cremation will cause a problem. How chaotic. Love that for you. I love you. I just want to make a finished movie before I die. Good or bad, it doesn't matter, I just want to stop talking and start doing. You got this. To fall in love with someone who loves me at the same time. I've never had that. I've never been in love with someone while they were in love with me, and when I didn't have the courage to do anything about it. I've always missed my window, and I don't want to miss it again. I'm scared as hell, but I'll bet my heart and soul for it. I want this so badly too. I've never been in any relationship of any kind. Being loved must be one hell of a drug. We'll get there. We'll get there. I want to see the pyramids in Egypt, among other destinations. Find love. I was going to say feel loved, so same. Some people don't feel loved because those individuals don't feel worthy. Become a better you and somebody will love it. Might not be who you want, but it will happen if you take the right steps. This might be stupid, but I really want to make good on childhood me's dream of becoming a game dev, or at least voice act in a video game. Edit. Holy SHE Varian sucks here. Thank you for all the love. Reddit. My first silver too. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you all for helping me realize my dream. I'll make you all proud. I promise. 3. I want to through hike the Appalachian Trail. Hey, this is what I came to say. I've started my journey. Kind of. I just bought damn near all the gear to just get into backpacking, and I'm going to go as much as possible throughout 2021 to practice and hone my packing list for the trail, and then try for it in 2022. You got this. Go go go. Go to the town my grandfather was from. He died way before I was born, so I only know about him through stories. I'm told I look a lot like him. These are all so lovely. All I really want to do is clean up my apartment. Even in death, I bet I'd still be embarrassed of the clutter. Start small. Pick one countertop or section of the floor. Another way is to fill a bag a day to throw away. Either a grocery bag or a trash bag. Could be actual trash or donations. You can do this, one small thing at a time. You'll start to feel better as your space gets picked up. I know how overwhelming it can be and downright depressing when you don't know where to start. I want to go sit in a chair on an empty beach, alone, and spend a few hours drinking my favorite whiskey and watching the sunset, all by myself. No phone, no one else around. Just watch the tide as the sun fades over the horizon. Marry my best friend. I also choose this guy's best friend. Be actually happy. I don't mean that in a pity party way. I'm just an angry and anxious person, but I'm getting better each day. I used to want that same happiness, and I was often bitter and anxious towards the world. What helped was learning that happiness is an outside force, as the Dalai Lama describes it, like a butterfly that lands on you and then flutters away. Focusing on finding joy in life has helped me become a much better person, though I certainly can improve. The difference between joy and happiness is that joy can be found in the most normal or even hard lives, as it is a purposeful look at all the blessings and beauty around you. Earlier in this thread someone said that many in their town take the northern lights for granted, yet for many that is their one thing they want to see before they die. How many in that village are bitterly seeking happiness, yet such wonderful joy happens around them so often. Thinking outside yourself helps too. It helps to remember that there are others that have it much worse than you, and to take into account what good and joy there is around you. Then, doing what you can further that joy. While there are many writings of philosophy around these thoughts, I recommend the Book of Joy as it is very approachable and helped me through some bad times. Jury duty. IDKY. Just intrigued by it. I did that when I was 19 for a 1-week trial. It was about driving under the influence of prescription drugs. Interesting process and not something I'll forget. It's funny, we actually did do a 12 Angry Men thing. We took a blind vote and one person thought the lady was not guilty, everyone else voted guilty immediately, without discussion. So we discussed for an hour or so and at the end the person who initially voted not guilty said that he would have voted guilty, but wanted to force us to at least discuss the possibility of her being innocent. I'd like to do heroin on my deathbed TBH. If people are willing to essentially throw their life away for it, I'll be damned if I don't give it a shot at the end. I've never done it, but I think it's pretty similar to morphine and they probably will give you that on your deathbed. So you're in luck. We had a rule in the year and Aiku. Anyone who is dying gets whatever they want. Duck the rules. If they have a smudge of pain, they can get pain meds. If they want something to eat that's not on the menu, we will try to find a way to make it happen. Death doesn't need to be suffering. I did it already. I saved my wife's life over 20 times due to self-inflicted wounds and massive overdosing on meds. She eventually overdosed to the point where she had permanent brain damage and was in a persistent vegetative state for 3 years. She was extremely afflicted with bipolar disorder and was an alcoholic due to a lot of abuse during life. I took care of her hand and foot for 3 years. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and never left her side and never left the house. We were married 26 years and I wanted her to know that she was loved until the day she died. I accomplished what I was put on this earth to do and can now pass if need be myself. Happy. You're a good man. Publish my novel. How you up? How you coming on that novel? You're working on? Got a big stack of papers there? Nice little narrative. Beginning, middle, and end. Some friends become enemies. Some enemies become friends. Yep. Give an elephant a bath. I'd have a big bubbly scrub brush, and we could take turns squirting each other. Edit. Some of you need some help. Haha. I would have a hose and he has a trunk. It's about a bath, not your dirty thoughts. Based on the part take turns squirting each other, I can only assume you are also an elephant. So neat to see an intelligent elephant like you using Reddit. I have this goal of becoming a millionaire so I can help every poor / struggling person I know. I have family in Yemen now and they're barely surviving. It gets depressing the more I think of it. I want to change at least one person's life. That's my goal too. Except I will use most of the money to campaign against companies that have bad practices, like Nestle and Monsanto. I want to touch a tiger's toe beans, or some other big cat. Man, you might be able to do that before you die, like, just before. Good luck, Godspeed, and best wishes. Look in the mirror and smile out of genuine love for myself and my body. I want to walk on the surface of Mars or along the bottom of the ocean. Visit Senegal, to the place where many African slaves were shipped off generations ago. I don't know anything about my African ancestry, and my dad and I used to talk about going together to have a bit of a full circle moment and see where our ancestors started the journey that led to us. My dad died this year and he never got to go, so I'd like to go for both of us. When you do go, I highly recommend taking the ferry from Dakar out to the island of Gorée. It has some really powerful historical relics showing the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's also a beautiful island. Leave some sort of positive change in the world. Tomorrow do a good deed and you've completed your wish. We all strive for greatness, but greatness is so hard to achieve. Instead, start small and see what unveils itself. Buy someone a coffee next time you go to the drive-thru. You never know what kind of day they've had. Pay a co-worker a compliment. Every tiny action has the possibility to snowball into a tremendous act, and if we don't take those tiny chances, we will never know the greatness we are capable of. And even if we never achieve greatness in a singular action, the culmination of our small gestures may just amount to greatness. Meet a girl that I love unconditionally and vice versa. Get married and have a couple of kids. I'm 50 and the game is pretty much over for me now. If I became a father now, that means I am working full time till I am 70, and that ain't gonna happen. I'm not rich, nor will I ever be, so there ain't no way financially I could pull off having a family now. Plus I am not what you would call desirable to the opposite sex. I'm not a good looking guy and I know it. So I basically have everything going against me. I get depressed when I think about all of this kinda stuff. No pushing anything, but how about you find a woman in a similar situation and you adopt some teens? They'll be out of the house in a shorter amount of time, and they might even give you some grandkids before you kick the bucket. You could make it happen if you wanted it, my man. I am surprised to see the northern lights come up so frequently. While I have seen them at a distance several times, I was very fortunate one time to almost be in the northern lights. I was sitting on the dark shore of Lake Superior, almost near Canada, one night looking for falling stars, when I noticed that there were streaks of light moving from left to right across the sky. Then they appeared to come down until they were like literally feet from my face and moved back up. If I had not known that it was the northern lights, I would have thought I was hallucinating. It was a full-on light show for more than an hour. I hope that those who want to see this get the opportunity someday. Previously, when I had seen them, they were like shimmering curtains in the sky in the far distance. This time it was like I was inside it. So much. Become fluent in another language. See the Northern Lights credit score over 700. Buy a brand new car. Breed a litter of GSD. Travel around Italy and so much more. My bucket list is insane. I know this is gross, but it's true. I want to rip a fart so stinky that I make someone throw up. I'm falling into a generation who for the first time is not better off than their parents. If at the very least I can reverse that trend for my own children, maybe my nieces and nephews too if I'm fortunate enough, then I'll feel good. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.